So basically what I'm going to talk you through in the next 15 minutes, because we are stopping you from going to lunch, is kind of what it is, kind of what the benefits of it are, and kind of the process we've gone through. So that's quite key. I mean, and I suppose the key thing for us in terms of Abacus in this sort of development to digital is the working with Conversant. They are the experts providing the technology that we're utilising to really collect this online browser data to use for your offline targeting. That's the key thing. We're using their technology to collect online data for offline targeting. You become part of the Abacus Enhanced Alliance. That's the name we're working with at the moment. Maybe a bit of marketing to improve that name. And then basically, once we've done all of that, you will start to get a weekly feed of this data, and we'll start to use that within our modelling. A couple of areas to look at, obviously, in terms of house file solutions. Anybody working with us in terms of our Abacus 360 solutions, we'll start to see that very, very quickly. So I sort of say, if you're working with us on that side, join up to this, because we start to pick up that information in terms of looking at lapsed customers, reactivation, and other points like that. In terms of the prospecting side, it's really going to add another flavour of information to your control models, or we might be able to create some bespoke kind of online browser models and things like that. So we have a time plan for that. And one of the key things we have got a round table at 3 o'clock, and we've got lots of questions that were already been asked about this process, which we can answer as well. So please leave them to them. Another way of looking at this, I suppose, in terms of the data, and this is a slide familiar to a lot of you, in terms of this is maybe what you know about your customers. At Abacus, we're kind of looking at a point where we've lifestyle and demographics data as the first layer we start to build. The key thing we're obviously adding is all the transactional data. That really makes a game change in terms of how we target, how we pick up information. A little bit of a blend of publishing data we also have as well, as the adding to this ingredients of the cake we're making for you. Bad analogy, but I thought I'd go with it. And then finally, you've got that online browsing data coming in there. It really is starting to sort of add another sort of channel or piece of information in terms of what customers are doing and how you're starting to spot them. We're providing all that information. So this is where you were. With Abacus, we've added to this information. This is this new digital change that we're doing. As you expect from Abacus, we did some tests. We test everything. We always recommend tests. This is a company with 2 different brands, and we looked at 5 months worth of their browsing data, and we saw an uplift. So that's why we decided to kick off and carry on with this project. So there is definitely a knowledge in terms of what we found in terms of the data will help you, and that's the sort of way we're going down. So I suppose you'll sort of say, well, okay, that's great. You've done your internal tests, Abacus. Why should we use it? Well, today, since our launch in December, we've got 10 live clients. We've got another 30 who are going through the process, working with Conversant to add on the tagging information, starting to collect the information and starting to run it through. We've expect to have at the point when you go live, after the sort of all these sort of checking of the data coming through, about 4 weeks, we'll start to release the information back to you. You'll start to get the weekly feed of the data, and I've talked about the particular variables you're going to get, but that's the process. So depending on how you, whether you do it internally or you have your own web developer, the process is very, very quick to do this. And working with Theo and this Conversant team, we walk you through everything. We have a guide that we sort of send over to you, we check your privacy, and Theo will cover those things. So coming on to sort of Conversant, I'll hand over to Theo now, just give you a bit more information about who Conversant are, what the process is, and Theo will take you through how we do it. In terms of everything else about Conversant and the whole digital information, Elliot's going to cover that more in depth after lunch. So we won't cover too much on that side. So over to you, Theo.
Yeah, cool, thanks. Can everyone hear? Hope so. Cool. So who are Conversant? So basically, the Conversant technology platform enables person-first digital media strategy and omni-channel planning. So how do we do this? And I guess everything that we do at Conversant, from the infrastructure we've built all the way through to the messages that we send out to consumers, is all based around an individual. So we have really, really rich individual profiles that we've built on over 7,000 data points, and we use these to obviously market the right message to individuals out there on the web. We then obviously you have to be able to recognize these users across all the devices that they're using and reach them, whether it be on mobile or in video. We obviously then decide the right time to serve an ad to the user. Driving on the tube on your way to work may not be the best time to serve an ad to that user, and we use decisioning logic to deliver the right message at the right time. And obviously we want to show that we're doing a good job for the advertiser. So we have a really robust measurement system that we put in place that looks at incremental uplift. And we also provide really good insights on the marketing we're doing back to the advertiser. That's just a real top line of what we do over at Conversant. I'm going to leave it to Elliot, who's going to be speaking after lunch, to explore that in more depth with you. What I'm here to talk about today specifically is the collection of the on-site data, because really that's the base to achieve all of these things and to do the things that Gordon was talking about with regards to enhancing the Abacus modeling that you guys are already doing offline. So let's talk a little bit about the process. The first step obviously is for you guys to show interest in it. You'll reach out to your Abacus account manager and I guess register your interest. At that point, they'll hand it over to us at Conversant, myself and my team. We'll then have a look at your website. We'll create a tagging document to make sure that we're collecting all the relevant data points. And we'll have an initial call with yourselves and your web developers to scope out the tagging and what's required from our side. In addition to that, we will request some changes to the privacy policy. We have a legal team that'll look at your website and at best advise what should be done from that perspective. The next step then is to place the tags on site, which is up to you guys. I'm more than happy, and myself and my team are more than happy to deal with any specific questions that come up from your developers. Once the tags are on site, we do a quick QA process just to make sure all the relevant data is being collected, and obviously they begin to collect data over time. This data is then aggregated into very easy to use variables that we then pass back to Abacus via the Epsilon technology we have in place, which is agility. Then this browser data is used by Abacus to identify high-performing prospects and any lapsed customers that you have, and effectively enhance the offline modeling that you guys are already doing. In addition to all of this, we can then send your data back to you, so the online data that we're collecting, back to you keyed on a customer ID, which you can then feed back into your customer database, which will enhance your own data warehouse. So yeah, that's just a quick thing about the profile, the process. Why use Conversant tags? We ask for a first-party cookie integration. Nowadays, the browsers out there prevent third-party cookies, which is what most of the industry will be using. So it really sort of hinders the ability for a third party, and in this case Conversant, to collect any data on site. But we request a first-party cookie integration, which is a really quick and easy thing for a developer to implement, and effectively that just helps us maximize the data collection on site and make the modeling that we're doing a lot more interesting. Another point to note there is that the raw browser data is never linked with any PII, so any personally identifiable information, and it's never shared across clients. And of course, you get me and my team. We're more than happy to answer any questions you have, and we're there to handhold you through the whole process. Not only that, you also get access to a legal counsel. So Conversant has a team of privacy lawyers that will look at your websites and make sure that everything's up to scratch from that perspective. And we're a big company, so obviously we're compliant with all the latest rules and regulations that are out there. So yeah, that's basically it. Really quick process. I'll obviously be sitting at one of the round tables, so any specific questions that you have, please feel free to ask. And yeah, we'll chat to you then. Cool.
Just final slide. So as you've heard, in terms of we've launched this particular online browser initiative, it's all end-to-end. It's all within Epsilon, Abacus, Conversant. So it's never leaving our organisation in terms of the understanding our technology, whether it's Conversant tags, the Abacus modelling expertise, and then in terms of the agility software to match all the data. Basically, as you sort of say, you'll get your customer online data weekly. This is all part of the Abacus membership, so it's all free of charge, which is fantastic. And these are the variables that you will get passed back to enhance your sort of offline selections in terms of the level up. But again, we've got lots of questions that have been asked, which we're going to cover at the round table, talking about the privacy, the process. Hopefully, some of the people in this room who've actually been through this process have found it easy. It's been kind of not too complicated, and we're there to sort of answer any particular questions at any time. So that is it, the online browser. It's now lunch. Hopefully you've covered that. Any questions, sort of see us at 3 o'clock for the round table, or 4 o'clock. And it's table number 2, I think. Thank you very much.